24 victoriously. Hallelujah. We have 2025 before us. It's a blank sheet of paper. 2025 is a blank sheet of paper. If you are, I don't know where are you connected at, if you are connected via YouTube or via Zoom, but wherever you are connected, you are welcome. Okay. So we're trying to build a family, build a community so that we can help each other grow. We can help each other through thick and thin. This this life is a gift, but it's a gift that keeps on giving only if we are intentionally making it a gift. Otherwise, it can be bitter. It can be challenging. It can be surprising and unsettling. A lot of us are joyfully celebrating the new year. Some people are not. And this means that life, like my brother in Nigeria said, this life no balance. This life no balance. You see, some people are suffering while others are rejoicing. Others are just wasting money, wasting resources because they have too much. They have in abundance. So here, this family, we try to be aware of everything that goes on around us. We try to be aware of our fellow human, of the other person, so that we can try to make their life a little better. By doing that, it's a community that we try to improve one at a time, one person at a time, one family at a time, one community at a time. That's our goal on this platform. Amen. So, having this big goal, we can start the year anyhow. We have to be intentional. We have to have plans. We have a failure to plan is a plan to fail. And if we do the same thing and accept a different result, Einstein says that it is insanity. And God forbid we are not insane. So we are going to try to do things differently. If we didn't plan our year before, let us plan our year now. If we didn't live intentionally before, let us live intentionally from now on. If we did not have program priority, which is a priority of our lives, we have to have a priority now. So today, I want to welcome you to the very first live for Q&A Mami Seka. And I want us to talk. I want us to talk as a family. I want us to brainstorm. I want us to look at the year coming up. How can we prioritize our year? How can we prioritize our year? That's the big question of today. How do we prioritize our year? How do we do that? Some of us are single with no family, which means we didn't create a family. We come from a family, but we didn't create one. So we are single, we are a single neutron, and it's easy for us to go by our own agenda. Okay, there's no surprises. Okay, we work in this place, we live in this place, we have done it for many years. If we don't decide to change our job, or we don't get the unfortunate problem of losing our job, we can pretty much be predictable. But some of us, others, have families we come from, and then families we created. And anytime you add another human being to your life, that creates a whole host of unpredictability, surprises, okay? things you did not think about, curveballs, all kind of things come to play. Now, imagine now that you add one, two, three other human beings called children. It's even more challenging. So we have to have a way of having a sense of control, not control the bad way or control, for the sake of wanting to dominate. No, we want to have a sense of control, meaning we have to have a sense of upper hand on what we are doing daily. First, for ourselves, for our spouses, if we have one, and then for our children. By doing that, we can better plan our work environment, our home environment, our extended family, our social environment, our even spiritual church community, and school activities, all of that we can better plan. So, what are the priorities of 2025? How are we compartmentalized, the human being? The human being has different needs and it needs to be compartmentalized. Okay. We have the biological need, which means that as a human being, we need to be sheltered. Number one, assurance of the home. We need to eat. Number two, food. We need to move around. Transportation. We need to be healthy to do all of that. Healthcare. We need now resources to support all of that. Financial resources. How do we go about creating, financial resources to support us? Then once we create those financial resources, how do we preserve those financial resources to be able to not only suffice us, but to continue to sustain us? So, as I'm talking here, we have to take notes. You see, we have to take notes so we can go over it and one by one create a priority within the priority. So the money or the currency or the finances is linked to the revenue. It's linked to the revenue. Okay. So if we don't have a revenue, none of this is possible. Okay. So the first, our priority is our revenue. We need to assure a way, a means to support ourselves. So revenue. Now, it's not always having a job. It could be a job. It could be a business. It could be an inheritance. It could be uh, what an inheritance create a how do you call that, um money that comes all the time. The word is escaping me. Okay, an allowance. Okay, an inheritance creates an allowance, but investment also can create an allowance. So investment is also a means of revenue because you don't just invest to wait for 30 years. There are some investment that are profitable right away. There are some money market, there are some investment that you can lump sum 5, 10, $15,000 in, and then each month you receive a certain amount of cash to live because you are living off of the interest. So investment can also create that allo- uh, allocation or allotment, whichever way you want to call it. Okay, so our priority is revenue. All right. This is January 5th. Do we have a job? Do we have a revenue? Do we have a mean to support ourselves? If we don't, let's give ourselves 1 to 3 months in order to have a revenue. The pens that I have are not working for me. Okay. To have a revenue, to earn money. Okay. 1 to 3 months. Within those 1 to 3 months, we can survive by, you know, someone helping us or staying with family and friends or, you know, surviving. But within 1 to 3 months, we have to find a means to have a revenue, be it working a small job, be it even throwing the newspaper. I threw newspaper before. You wake up at 3 a.m. and you have your route, be it in the snow, in the rain, in the heat. You wake up, you go, you throw your newspaper because I needed money. I was in school. So you need to find a way to make money in order to assure your shelter, to be somewhere that is called your own, where you can lay your head and get some rest. So 1 to 3 months to create a revenue. Now, because now we're living in a society of creativity, every day the Gen Z society and everyone, actually, it's not just the young people, but young people are the one, championing this effort. You know, there are many ways of making money being created around the world, be it physically, be it online. There's not another time in the history of humanity where people are literally creating industry and businesses in a whole world, in around the world, not just in America, but in America there's this every it's like every day millionaires are being made. Every week millionaires are being made because of all the creative ways that money, that the revenue is allowed to be produced. There are, you know, items online, there are product online, there are courses online, videos online, this very YouTube, other videos, TikTok. People are making TikTok the career revenue, the, the daily bread. It is practically infinite, the ways that people are making money these days. So 1 to 3 months to make money is not unrealistic. Back in the day, it was maybe 10, 15, 30 years ago, maybe it was. But even then, there were opportunity to sweep the street, to carry the garbage, to throw the newspaper, to make money, to how do you call that? Clean people's shoe, shoe polish. There's a millionaire that I don't know if it was a tale. I don't know if it was not a true story, but it seemed like it's a true story. He's a shoe polisher and he became a millionaire. It's a true story, I think, because he was in Wall Street. He was at he was polishing shoes at the metro station, the train station, I think in New York, that takes you to Wall Street or on Wall Street, whatever it is. He befriended the people of Wall Street, and by shining the shoes, he will listen to the conversation about investment, about which product is out, about this, that, and the other. And what he did is he acted on it. So back in the day, polishing shoes like 5 cents or 10 cents per client back in the day. But that man is a African American man. I need to research that story again. That man was able to invest his little his little shoe polishing revenue by creating wealth. This man became a millionaire. So this year, as we are moving around, we have to keep our ears open, our eyes open for opportunities to make our regular revenue or to invest the revenue that we have. So that's a revenue part. By all means, we need to be making a legal revenue that is honorable, because shoe polishing is more honorable than the oldest job under the sun. Selling, uh, like they're saying that you're selling pepper or whatever it is. Anyway, we understand each other. Hallelujah. So our priority is to make revenue or invest the revenue, increase our revenue this year. The second one now is managing all of that. Okay, managing the shelter, the food, the health, and the transportation. Some of us, when it comes to shelter, some of us, maybe we need to downgrade in order to save money. Or some of us, maybe we need to upgrade in order to make more money. Because it's not every upgrade that is bad. Like I say, it's not every loan that is a bad loan. You can be in debt. That is not every debt that is bad. There are debt that is it's necessary to improve your wealth portfolio. It's necessary to increase your revenue. So in the shelter area, what is going on? Do we need to downgrade? If we downgrade it, why are we downgrading? Maybe the children are gone and married and gone, and then we are older and the big house is no longer able to manage. We cannot cut the grass alone. We cannot clean all of that. And paying a cleaner is another expense. And our income has reduced because we are now living on our retirement pension, so we cannot afford it. So, one way or the other, the shelter needs to be evaluated this year to see, do we need to downgrade? Okay. If we cannot take care of the shelter, is it good to sublease? To sublease a part of a house so that income come in, and then you have people to for the upkeep of the house. That's another thing, another way of looking at it. Now, food. The food part, for the most part, exotic food or ethnic food or international food for some of us that live abroad is very expensive. It's very expensive. And I want to take time now to pitch to you, my brethren. We have to consider eating other people's food if it's more affordable than our own food. Because our food can cost us sometimes, and it depends on how many people that live in the house. If you want to eat the international food or the food of your motherland every single day, living in abroad, you might need a part-time job for that. Because oxtail will cost money, and cow skin will cost money, and all of that will cost money. Okay, so the food is an issue because food for everyone across the world has increased. It's one of the items where inflation hit very hard. Food. So we need to think about different ways to purchase food, not increasing our budget, but decreasing our budget. How can we do that without losing the quality of our food? Because that's the other another thing. Food is tied to our health. Food is linked to our health. So if we think about food is too expensive, let me eat cheap. A hot dog might be $1.20 at 7-Eleven, and you buy for the whole family. Everybody has had dinner for less than $10. Way, we have saved a lot of money. But if you do a hot dog 2-3 times a week, down the road, you want to buy that cholesterol medication or that high blood pressure medication. And is it worth it? That's that. Then food that you buy, for instance, you're gonna have let's see, oranges that are a whole bag of orange for $1.50 versus one or two oranges for $1.50, because those oranges are organic. They are organic. They are, grown in a healthy environment without pesticide, without chemical, and they are safer for the body. That's another way of looking at it. Though you're eating fruit, but you might be eating GMO's fruit. Is that what you want? So, because food is tied to health, in a food area, we might need to consider not be too stingy. If we need to be stingy, let's be stingy with our clothing. I'd rather buy only one pair of, of pants a year and eat organic, healthy food because it's going to catch up with me later on than buy the cheap stuff and buy a $300 pair of pants or have a whole collection of pair of pants. You see? So, what is the priority? We have to rethink the way we live. We have to reorganize ourselves. And in the food area, why food is so important for families is that food for children is more critical. See, you have two ages where food is a lifeline. Two ages, the baby and the senior. 0 to 10 years old, or 0 to 15, actually, 0 to 15, you have to be very careful to prioritize the quality of food you put in the house of your children. And then when you hit 40, you can even start earlier, but from 40 on, you have to be careful the kind of food you put in your mouth. So by doing that, prioritizing this, you can do your budget accordingly, where you say the children should don't eat junk. The children should not drink junk. They should eat healthy. They should drink healthy and live in a healthy environment. And then me and my spouse, we are 40, we are 45, we are 50. We should no longer eat any kind of produce we see in the mainstream grocery stores. We have to make sure it's pesticide free. We have to make sure it's organic. We have to make sure it's actually food and it's not plastic and it's not chemical. And that costs more money than the regular food. So when you're prioritizing your family's year, you have to look at the increase in the food and the decrease in the other area. This year, we are not going to buy new clothes because we have to eat healthy. So now you shop in organic stores and you decrease going to the mall to buy clothes and shoes because it's going to catch up with you when you get older. And it's going to make the children ability, cognitive ability to be, alert, sharp, performing well. They are not eating red number 5, yellow number 2. They are not eating, how do you call that, high fructose corn syrup. But they are eating organic food that is made well. It's not GMO, polluted. It's not pesticide sprayed. All of that affect the brain and the performance, the intellectual performance of the children. So we have to pay attention to that. Now, the other priority we have to do, we have to make sure that our transportation is managed also properly. What's going on in the transportation area? Gas has been, everything is more expensive. Gas is more expensive. So what do? How do we carpool? How do we organize ourselves where two, three children have different activities? How do we carpool with other parents of children with the same activity? We can carpool where we can save money, we can also save time, but making sure that the parents is trustworthy, because children suffer a lot of, you know, misconduct from adult being carried here, there, and everywhere. So we have to prioritize all of that according to what we are making. So I think tonight I wanted to talk about this, and then go into detail according to the question you might have, or something that you have to, a contribution that you may bring along for us to discuss. So I'm going to stop here right now, and ask if anybody had any any contribution, any questions. I'm trying to see if somebody, she told me she didn't. Okay, contribution. Do we have anybody? Oh, we have a couple. Okay. All right. So, hello. Okay. So, Pius, I think there's there's someone or two on YouTube. Can you check and see if somebody is asking question on YouTube? I just got a message that that somebody on YouTube. If you can, Pius, are you there? Let me see if I can get on YouTube. Are you
Hello.
there, Pius? Yes. Oh, hi.
Hi.
I
Yeah.
don't know
Yeah.
where Pius is. Okay, go ahead.
No, I just like the fact the different like avenue income and everything stream income you mentioned, like how to dispose it for the beginning of the year, so
Yes.
we know how to plan for the year. And you say in the 3 months we need to do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So yeah, I think
Exactly.
that
Thank you.
yeah, yeah, it's what I think I'm preparing my head to do, because
Yes.
if you start early, you know already that you will not like play catch up the whole year. So
That's true.
so I don't
That's
have a
true.
question. It's just a comment that thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. So yes, if we start, we hit the ground running in the head of the year. The Bible said to us, the Lord crowns the year with good things. From the beginning, let us grab those good things. Within the next 3 months, let us find a way to increase our income, to increase the revenue, and to make sure we reallocate ourselves. Do we need to rent out rooms? Do we need to reduce, to reduce our living environment so that we can increase our revenue? Because when we reduce it, there's more money in our pocket. Okay. So thank you for that. Let's see. I don't see the person. Okay. Okay, I got a comment there. Very good point, especially when it comes to food we eat. Okay. All right. So, I don't know if you have a question. Okay. Got a comment on YouTube. Okay. So, we can stop here for the question now. Let's talk about what's coming up in the year 2025, at least the first 3 months, okay? Or even the first month of 2025. January 2025, Fiona Umami Seka has a book club. We've opened the book club. And opening the book club is allowing us to expand our horizon and get knowledge where we need it. Most of us, we go to school, we study the subject matter that we want the diploma on, and we don't read. I happen to be a bookworm. I love to read. I love to read. And reading has allowed me, by the grace of God, to increase my vocabulary in English because I'm not an English speaker. I'm a French speaker. And coming here was in America was the first um, time I encounter the English language in immersion. Because back home, we just learn it in school. And when I was actually in school, I spoke German better than English. In my German class, I was in different semesters. I had a friend, and funnily, we were sitting, she's my desk mate. She wasn't only my classmate, but she was my desk mate. We sat next to each other in school, in high school. And if she's not first in German, I am first. So she's first, I'm second. I'm first, she's second. This is how we did in German until we finished our school. And I was speaking German conversationally, conversing in German. But when I came here, I forgot German and I took over English. But there's something that I grew up with is reading. My the home environment um, favored reading and favored some games, games, educational games like Scrabbles and I don't even remember the name of that game where you have to get the alphabet. We go from A to Z, and you have to come up with word. And there was other games that we were exposed to. So in French, that seed was put in me to love that kind of activity. So when I came here, I continued back in English. You see? So I started looking for books to read in English, book to read, though my English was broken, but I was reading, reading, reading. You see? And reading, even if the subject matter you don't learn from, the more you read, the more your vocabulary increase. And the older you get, it's, it's important to increase your cognitive ability by pushing your mind to retain things. This is how we beat how do you call that, Alzheimer diseases and dementia and all of that. Is engaging the brain. That's one biological advantage of reading. But the other thing is we are women, and women around the world is a species that is the most in ache and pain because of society, especially women of our culture. Women around the world have had to fight. I was surprised the first time I heard that um, Caucasian women here in America were the last to be allowed to vote. You see, because when they gave the right to the black to vote, it was black people. It wasn't only black men. It was black people. So black women and black men were voting before the white women were allowed to vote. So they had a long way to come, but they came. So women everywhere, we have a portion that we need to fight for. We need to stand and have a voice. And it starts with healing. We have to heal. There are a lot of trauma that we go through that we don't heal from, and it hinders us. So by reading books that help us to go through the process of healing, be it emotionally, be it, psychological, all of that is to not only benefit us, but is to benefit our environment because we are the vessel of life. If we don't heal ourselves, life cannot flow through us. We will give birth. Yeah, that's a token of life. But we will be wounding all the people we're giving birth to and us along the way because wounded people wound others. So we need to heal in order to improve society. We need to heal in order to lead better because we are called to be leaders. You see, we are called to be leaders. When we are healthy, we stand to lead. It's a beautiful thing to see a woman lead because she leads with an added value. There's something that a woman has that a man does not have. So when you come, she comes with that thing to lead. It brings a breath of life into everything that she does. So that's why um we need to excuse my reach. I have to reach for some books here that I okay. So I'm giving you examples of books that I pick up, but we're gonna start with the book of wisdom or proverb, and then we will move to other books. So we're starting with the Bible because that's where everything started. This is our confession, and we don't shy away from it. We're gonna start with the Bible now. Okay. I found this book. I went to a discount store. It's amazing what kind of book you can find at the dollar store. At in Maryland, there's a store called Ollie's. Ollie's is in Jessup for people who live in Maryland. Ollie's is a wonderful. It's not as beautiful, but it's a wonderful um, discount store. And what I love in discount store is it's the findings of books because books is never discounted. When a books is no longer $10 and it's $2, does the content become $2? No, the content is still valuable. You see, some of the stuff can be discounted when you buy it. It's not as valuable as when it was full price, but the book remains full price at all time, even if the price is discounted. So I found this one, A Mother's Grace. And what caught me, and I'm going to go back to see if I can get enough for everyone and mail to those I can mail or give to those I can give. It's from Michelle Moore, or we can find it online. That's one of the book I would like for us to read. Healing the World One Woman at a Time. Healing the World One Woman at a Time. And the title is A Mother's Grace. Healing the world one woman at a time. And when I read the back, it says, what is grace? It is the exercise of love, kindness, mercy, and favor, a disposition to benefit or serve another. A mother's grace merits this definition and takes it even further. When a child is born, so is a mother. Something like that in the back of the book, you don't need to read further. You just grab the book because you know that if this is on the back, there are juicy stuff inside. So I'm going to see if I can get many copies for us, but this is one of the books that I would like for us to go through in 2025. Now, for all of us, because even if you're 30 years old, aging is happening daily, because today you are one day older than 30. And this one is from Joyce Meyer. This is from Joyce Meyer. And you say, and I found it at that discount store. You see, so you encounter books and you encounter writers and authors that, to me, it's a gift to find Joyce Meyer's book in a discount store. So this one say how to age without getting old. You know I will get that. How to age without getting old. The steps you can take today to stay young for the rest of your life. And get staying young is something that women is like a, what can I say? It's a ministry for the women. Staying young. The step you can take today to stay young for the rest of your life. Joyce Meyer. Okay. That one is a bonus book. All right. Now, one of my favorite, Gifted Hand. We have to read this book today. And I'm planning, I think it might be one of the first we do after we do Proverbs. I don't know. But we have to read this day. By May, we have to read this book. This is one of the best book a mother should have in a library, because this book is talking about Dr. Carson, but it's a story of the mother. And I want us to zoom into the role Mama Carson played in the life of Dr. Carson. This one we have to read. Gifted Hand is online everywhere. On Thrift Book is another place we can get good books. Overcomer. One of the issues that women have a lot is anxiety. One of the challenges women have and have to face and live with or live through is abuse of all kinds. And it said defeating anxiety and abuse. Okay, that's a devotional, and going through a devotional is a healing process. That's why I added that to it. It's a devotional. We will go through it together because we need to all heal from abuse. Some of us still are in it. Some of us are out of it. Some of us, it happened a whole long time ago. And you never know, God forbid, that is in the future waiting to happen. So I wanted to share these books with us. I found this wonderful daily uh, 365 days of grace, daily devotion for overcoming disappointment and offense. Another thing we deal with, offense. So I grabbed it because these are things that we are going to process this year, 2025. It's a year of pressing the reset button. And that's what we're going to talk about in the conference. Pressing the reset button. As we press the reset button, what happened before should not guide us in the future. What we suffered before should stay in our past, and we press forward. We press forward, like Christelle said last time. Nadege rather, she said, "Maman, on fonce." Yes, we in French, on fonce seulement. That was funny. She said that, but we are pressing forward. Things are coming from the left, from the right. It's okay. We shake it off. We process and we press forward and we press forward, being better, being refined, being improved, being made new. And the wine is getting better. And we are this wine that is being processed and being aged beautifully for the benefit of our own soul and spirit and body, but to be poured out into beautiful wine, glass wine for others to indulge, to have, to receive, and to enjoy, so that we become a delight to others to be around. We become a delight to humanity. That's what I wanted to share tonight. So, the book of Proverbs, we will start reading. We are going to read uh, the first 10 chapters of the book of Proverbs. Okay? We're not going to read long books. When we get a book, we start the first couple of chapters, the two middle of chapters, and the last couple of chapters to understand what is going on and to get the benefit of that book. We are not going to read 300, 500 because we have children, we have jobs, we have ministries, we have spouses, we have ourselves. And time is very short. So we're going to prioritize. So for the book of Proverbs, we are going to read the first 10 chapters. We're going to read 10 chapters rather. So we do the last chapter of Proverb is 30, and that's the one that is the women's chapter. Okay, but we start with the first five because it's a chap. These are chapters that parents are talking to their children, a father, a mother, and all of that. We need to know those chapters. So we will read 1 to 5. Okay, we're gonna start with 1 to 5, and then the last five. So we do 27 to 31. Now, the middle one, I will let us know which set of five of the middle one we're going to do that is more relevant to us. But we do the first one, 1 to 5, and then we end with 27 to 31. Okay. So let's start with 1 to 5. We give each other, we give ourselves rather, we give ourselves um how many times do we give ourselves? Because we have to do it before the conference. The conference is the last weekend of January. So we give ourselves 1 week. That might be, no, 2 weeks rather. 2 weeks. So if we give ourselves 2 weeks, today is the 5th, we meet on the 19th to talk about the first 5 chapters. And then the following weekend is the conference. Okay. The following weekend is a conference. Okay. So I'm going to post on the channel the updates in the community so that we know what's going on. But we are scheduled to read the first 5 chapters of the book of Proverbs. And we will meet Sunday, January 12th to discuss, to learn from each other, and to write. Please bring your journal. Bring your journal. Bring your journal. At the conference, we will have more material and resources to share. But for now, get a journal. You can even get a $1. Go to the dollar store, get a journal. Get something small like that. That's a small journal. Very small. You see, you have this writing in it. It has a thing. Close it. You can get that, or you can get a whole notebook, like one of those, you know, uh, writing books of your composition book. There you go. That's the right word. You can get a composition book or a journal, a writing material, because you need to write notes so that we can share and bless each other. So I will post all the updates in the community, and we will keep up because this year we will do things differently. We're not going to do our year anyhow. We will do differently. We will plan our year and we will have an accountability schedule, partner reports. That way we can be better. That way we can see concrete results. Okay? So I will stop here and I will put the update on the posts tonight or tomorrow morning. It should be there so that the one that did not make it tonight will see the schedule of the community on the post. So I'll stop here. Anybody has a question or a comment after the material that I shared and the schedule. The conference is coming up on Friday, January 24th. We will have the opening session from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m., 2 hours. Then on Saturday, the 25th, we will have a full day. It starts at 8:30. We start with prayers and worship. Then we have the first um, speaker. After that, we have ministration, question and answer, private consultation. Then we have a second speaker. Same. After that, we break for lunch. We come back in the afternoon. We have the third speaker. And then we do another administration and we close. So on Saturday, we will have three speakers. There is a session of testimonials about, great beginnings, resetting the button, changing the course of life, you know, how a former thing was not working and somebody changed and they became greater. We're going to have this kind of testimonial. Then we have session for prayers and, consultation. And then we close and then we get all the resolution for the following year by the grace of God about how we are going to um, improve the conference and what it is that we will expect to get at the conference. So with that said, I want to close here. We have the flyer is out. We still had to tweak it a little bit, but this week there will be activities in the community page, a lot of posts to update. We have, except me, we have three wonderful speakers, three wonderful fiery ladies coming up with a message, transforming message, a blessing message to grace the conference. So stay tuned and we will put on the community, we'll put on the short videos of the speakers and the post and all of that to let you know what's going on with the conference. All right. The conference is free registration, but you need to register. Please register. But the conference is free and we need a registration so that we can send you information, the agenda and all of that, the speakers information and all of that. Okay. With that said, I'll stop here. Anybody has anything to say? Let me check on YouTube. I don't know if somebody else joined YouTube. Okay. All right. So we stop here. Okay. Thank you for joining. I hope this session was helpful.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.